Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quake Pro League. One final time tonight, where we are getting into our last best of three of the evening. Rapha faces off versus Psygib. Both of them are in the top 10. Rapha, of course, has firmly been number one for quite some time now. He had the biggest run we have ever seen back in Poland, where he went undefeated, and that was absolutely splendiferous. For Psygib, it's been his slow and steady improvement, Dan, that's really been getting all of our attention.
No, your vocabulary gets my attention more than anything else.
I think splendiferous is a word. I mean, it might just be from my brain, but let's roll with it.
But yeah, on Psygib, I think silent but deadly. He's kind of crept up the leaderboards. He's been super stable, taking good 3-0s off of most of the North American scene people below him, or at least 2-1s throughout. And is slightly underrated. He's always been an established player in his own right, but since Pro League's come along, he's just added so much to his game and is becoming very, very firmly the third best American. And he's got it within his grasp to push, to hang to the limit, I think, to maybe at least take that second spot, I think.
I hope so. Because there's a lot of good stuff we've seen coming out from Psygib, right? And any competition is good because obviously if you raise the bar and you push the goalpost out further, everyone else has to improve as a whole off the back of it. So it keeps the scene more and more competitive. That's been the one really good thing about the Quake Pro League so far over the course of the 3 stages, right? We've seen more and more improvement, more games, more research that can be done, and just a lot more exposure for our players. Let's get straight into the veto for this one as well and expose the champion picks.
So I'm just getting it up. Starting on Corrupted Keep with Strogan Pika versus the Ison. Yeah, I mean, pretty standard picks throughout. We've already spoken a lot about the utility the Ison offering, and it doesn't really excel on any map, but it's useful on every map in some way or another. Whereas Strogan Pika is a very, very good pick on this map, and Rapha loves to pick it on Corrupted and really take up that momentum. Blood Covenant. Sorry, just a little bit of an error there. We've got Slash against the Knicks. So I mean, we've got kind of flips from the picks on this side, because normally we might see Rapha pick like an Athena, but I'm guessing that might have been banned out, whereas the Slash, you know how much pressure that can put out. But the Nyx is a good counter in some regards. However, once again, if you want to pressure a Nyx, then Slash is probably the best pick to do it with. So definitely favouring Rapha once again. And then we're finishing on the Ranger, on the Doom, on Blood Run. Both offering good utility. Ranger slightly more, but Doom is still a solid pick for Psygib.
Yeah, no, we've seen a lot of good stuff from Doom when it's being wielded by Psygib. He's been looking better and better as well, so hopefully we get to see a lot of his muscles being flexed once he gets into the server. And it seems like this is actually kicking off relatively quickly here. Straight away into Corrupted Keep. Rapha on the Strog, Psygib on the Eisen. But who is going to be sobbing after this one, and who will be there smiling from ear to ear, Dan?
I'm expecting Rapha 3-0, but again, Rapha hopefully, oh my god, I can't speak. Psygib hopefully has it within his grasp to really push it to the limit. That's what I want to see from Psygib today.
Oh, Rapha instantly kicking it off with a lovely little rocket barrage straight to the face of Psygib, though. Going to be able to take him down. He looks to do a little bit more, and he's getting a lot of shots off. Rapha already straight away in with the 2-0.
Yeah, that's painful, as Rapha then can sweep up a light armor and the Mega. Oh, that prediction from Rapha is so painful.
Psygib sent up and then smacked back to reality.
After frag. Already 3-0, only a minute in.
Stopwatch.
It's a big way to kick things off. Standard stuff from the madman that is Rapha. Yeah, missed from the rocket there, as Psygib's going to send that one straight towards him. He'll dart his way around, start to farm up a couple of hourglasses as well, so he does have the Pika ready to bust it out when the time is right. Look at the transition there. Very smart stuff, as it will be a trade. Oh, Dan. Like kids in a playground with Pokemon cards. They trade.
I mean, it's really the best that Psygib could have hoped for after such a chaotic opening. Rapha hitting the opening shot. Now Psygib's the one with the advantage and should be able to get a frag, but somehow Rapha comes away with it. And it's Psygib's execution with the rockets isn't as good as he needs it to be.
It's a good way to at least get into the matchup there. Gets his first kill on the board. Oh, Psygib as well with the super shotgun. That's 2 now, as he's starting to get some momentum behind him.
He does indeed, but Rapha's already picked up a good amount of stack. And at the minute, Psygib's really struggling with the speed that Strog's pulling out.
LG out. Oh, but it's the shotgun from quite a substantial distance. Rapha really putting his money where his mouth is with the SSG slam down. Big Papa Pump having a field day. Pika comes through as well to do a nice amount of damage back onto Psygib, and it's an LG finish as Rapha already is back into a dominant form. 7-2, 3 minutes into the game.
I mean, problem is when you're icing, what do you do when you've got Strog running at you and your turrets? You either don't have a turret or your turret gets nullified. You have nothing to fall back on. This is a time when you might wish you were a ranger or a heavy champion or anything else except an icing.
Yeah, usability is just so limited right now. And for Rapha, obviously, he's just going to have an absolute field day whenever he's given a chance. That's just what he's doing. Roaming around the map at high speeds. Big connections with the rockets as well. Look how calculated that was. One after another. Led perfectly into the body of Psygib.
Yeah, like 9-2 already. No sign of slowing down as Rapha is just taking the tempo to the icing. The only thing that Psygib can really do at this point in time is just try and manage choke points better and use the HMDs or the nail gun distance game a little bit better, because there's no slowing Rapha. He's the one that wants to be pressuring in. You can see the weapon choice from Rapha, again, spot on. He's the one even doing chip damage.
No, it's so nicely played so far. Coming up towards the 5-minute mark as we're starting to get into the mid-portion of this map. The turret's not having too much success of denying the map control so far for Psygib. Rapha, perfect timing to make his way over towards the heavy, and he'll snatch that one away.
Psygib's really struggling to get any major items. He is staying alive, which is the most he can ask for. There is a bit of time for him to try and maybe do some pressure before the mega spawns. That's what he's gonna do here, but his positioning's not the best to do so. Probably should have came in from above.
Oh, classic super shotgun. Vintage Rapha. Name a better duo as he starts to make his move once again.
Oh, in the face, son. These turrets are not having a good time.
No, they are just sponges for his bullets right now. Psygib, good escape at least. Dives his way across and is able to get out of there. Rapha just going to play around the major items once again. 5 seconds till heavy's up, and it will be a bit of a scrap for control of it. But the Pika punishment! Oh no!
I think Rapha, we could say this about a lot of things Rapha does, but I think Rapha plays the best strong Pika in the world by far.
Barely stays alive there, but he fights his way through, but the skin of his teeth to get that pick versus Psygib. Now 13-2, just 6 minutes into the game.
I mean, it's in terms of strategizing, what do you do when you see Rapha pick strong on this map? It's an honest question for you, man.
It is pretty damn crazy. 10 frags difference.
I mean, I'm racking my brains right now. I think you're better placed picking a heavy champion. I don't know what was banned, but maybe a scale bearer, just because then you have a fighting starting stack when Rapha is trying to pressure you. You have that bull rush. Yeah, I think again heavy champions are a little bit of the answer if you be under a lot of heavy pressure. But yeah, I mean Iceland's not looking strong at all. But at the same time, Psygib never had a chance to breathe, to get any real strategy to going. Rapha's always been on top of him. Let's see what he can do now. He has some elements of control.
Slowing down the tempo a little bit. Obviously, Psygib has actually been able to find himself a couple of major items finally, which could give him a chance. In reality, it's probably just going to be consolation frags at this point, though, as it really is getting too far gone already. Rapha, gliding round on the struggle with the crouch slide, will lose out in the fight for the Mega, and does go down as Psygib will punish him with the LG.
Yeah, but it took a good minute or so for Psygib to pick up that frag, and he's got a long way to go if he even wants to look at tying this one up.
Tag coming through with a rocket. Pika going in to cause a bit of punishment.
Yeah, full amount.
Again, it is going to be a kerfuffle for control of the heavy. Nice use of the nails to at least do some damage from a distance. Rapha having to skirt his way out of there, but Psygib is quick on his tail. However, the transition to the rocket seemed like it would have sealed the deal, but it doesn't matter. The super shotgun from Psygib is the saving grace, the tool that he needed to win that encounter.
Yeah, but Rapha did an immense amount of damage as well, and he stole away the mech, which was the only real lifeline that Psygib had. As he in a lot of trouble. Rapha didn't need to finish it. And he does go down to truly put the icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not another one. Damn, jellyfish have been on the Earth for over 650 million years, but Rapha has been looking dominant for the past 9 minutes.
A little bit of a difference between the two.
There is, but there's still one constant, and that's Rapha running away with things right now. It's back to the LG. Another shocking play as Psygib is down and out.
Oh, he does miss. Ooh. And he does go down, but it's obviously not going to matter at this stage. Way too late for Psygib to do anything to make any plays, and it was, once again, the Rapha show.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Rapha the Rash, we said it before, he's just all over you over the course of the entire game, right? He just doesn't stop. And that's what he did here today. It's just disgusting how he does these things. A few moments of success where Psygib definitely was still proving that he has the aim capability, has the understanding to be able to, put up a fight. But it just wasn't enough. It's Corrupted Keith as well, which is one of those maps that I think a lot of the time we do give quite a bit of favor to Rapha on. So kind of makes sense as a start. Moving on from this, where are we going? Blood Covenant? Maybe more of a chance, although it is Slash versus Nyx.
I think the Nyx on that matchup just honestly can get destroyed.
Yeah.
Because you're just under so much pressure the whole time. And Nyx wants to manage the tempo of the game. That's the way Nyx plays. She wants to slow it down and play at her tempo, take the strong positioning, use that passive jump capability to control the split levels. But Slash, if you play her well, can do that just as well. And then she can keep on top of you. So it's going to be a hard game for Psygib. Very rail orientated, I'd say. That's key. And need to manage the choke points again. Yes, because Slash is still light. So if she comes into a choke point, it's a rocket, as we saw earlier today, she's still vulnerable. But I don't imagine Rapha's going to make that many mistakes.
No, you wouldn't think so. It's normally always very well ironed out from him. Psygib, though, he can go toe-to-toe in the middle of a cell. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be a little bit closer here on Blood Covenant. Hopefully, obviously, both of them on the lights. If anything, at least it will provide for a bit more of a spectacle, Dan.
Yeah, it will. I think it'll be good either way. I want to see Psygib get on the map with his rail. That's what he's known for. I think he can definitely do some damage with it. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely still expecting the Rapha show to come out.
I think so. It's all well, it's one of those where what can we do based off previous history and what we've seen, especially even just recent history alone, right? It's so hard to ever not give him the advantage going into a lot of these matchups. I don't know. Maybe there is some potential. Psygib's definitely someone that is getting more and more deadly as time has gone by in the North American scene. So hopefully he'll have a lot to prove going into this. Let's kick it off though. 2 light champions, 1 fantastic map, and hopefully a load of flamboyant frags coming our way.
Hopefully, as I'm starting on Rapha, picking up the Mega and already getting on to deal damage over on that railgun area. Obviously the one thing he doesn't have just yet, until now. But also having plenty of speed to put the pressure onto the Nyx. Doesn't get a lot of damage done as his rails just about miss, but we can see the intention is there. And he's going to be forced to pop up the Ghost Walk here. And he doesn't even pick up the heavy armor. And he's going to go down. Unlucky.
Not ideal.
No, far from. Well, again, without the Ghost Walk up. And this is already looking pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, 2-0 already kicked off. 1 minute in. It's a frag every 30 seconds so far. So let's see if he can try and maintain something like this as he goes straight into high-flying gameplay. Once again, Psygib blown to pieces by the slash as she'll cut straight through her.
Yeah, he shouldn't be there. Ghost Walk only just came off cooldown, didn't have proper timing. Oh no, he's already popped out the Ghost Walk. Rapha will run away and then chase his opponent down because now he is prey. Gobbled up the time vials as well on both sides of the map. Knows he's still got a long time until the Ghost Walk is up, because he's the one that's taken all the time bars off the map.
Rockets whizzing by him. Psygib looking to try and get a nice punishment frag here on the board, but he's not being able to get too much going for himself just yet. Slash breezing through as she kicks it into overdrive. Rapha making his way back over towards the Mega Health. So much damage done. Psygib, all it takes is one well-timed rocket, and he will be blown to bits.
Yes, and the problem is, because Nyx is also a light champion, the amount of pressure that comes out, particularly off the spawn, can be unbearable. You just constantly got Ghost Walk or cooldown, and if it's not up, you're just so susceptible to dying. This is why the rail playing that range game has to be key. You need to use those audio cues, almost Dewey-esque, to try and keep the other side of the map. But Rapha's obviously so smart and on the ball that that's always almost an impossible task. Once again, the Ghost Walk's already out. And he's going to go down here once again if Rapha wants to push him, but playing it safer.
More of a classic telltale sign of Rapha's gameplay there, though, right? If he's not 100% confident in it and would instead rather wait to play around, get himself into a better position, potentially with items or just to add to his stack, he will. He doesn't like taking those risky frags. He always just plays for the win.
No, absolutely. And he also knows that he has such a speed advantage that he has so much time to get all of the time bars, get all of the items.
Oh, yeah.
And only when it's right, go in for the kill.
But also look at the benefit of that, right? What, that's the second plasma trail in the space of, like, what, 30 seconds or something?
Yeah.
It's absolute madness that he's being able to pull these sort of things off.
I mean, I think Psygib's pretty much using the Ghost Walk on cooldown, the poor guy. Just because the amount he's also running into Rapha. And Rapha's getting all of the time vials. So it's a long cooldown.
Oh, gee, gonna eventually send Psygib to the graveyard. as they now go 5-0. A lot of damage coming through here from Rapha. He'll take a rocket to the face, though, and both of them are in basically the same stack.
So he's done a good job there to pressure Rapha off of that heavy, get himself an item. Clean item as well at that for the first time. Oh, that's a nasty rocket. Unnecessary to stick around, but there wasn't much option. He had popped it in the middle of nowhere, so I think he felt a little bit cornered. Definitely cornered right here as he goes down once again, 7-0. And doesn't even look like getting back on the board just yet. But no risk from Rapha, as you say. Even he's got such a big lead, he just wants to play his typical calculated, perfect style.
He's not going to deviate. You know, he'll always just play his game, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Goodness, though, Dan. I mean, 7-0. Still looking like there's no signs of slowing down. It's potentially going to be able to find himself another frag here, though, if he fancies it. Another Ghost Walk is used.
Yeah. Psygib not messing around, just uses it as soon as he senses danger. But as we said, that just gives Rapha the entire map.
Look how low he is as well, just from a tri-bolt burst. Shotgun coming through, it drops down, it'll be the LG instead that will finish off the job. 5 minutes 50 in, and it's an 8-0 scoreline. Is this potentially where finally Psygib can get himself on the board? No, it takes so much damage, and Rapha high flying as he becomes the projectile, launching himself in towards him to try and close it down once again and get another frag. The rocket will connect, but Psygib barely stays alive.
Yeah, it's so tough because Psygib generally, I'm sure he feels lost right now. Everywhere he goes, Raph is waiting for him. He just has no answer.
He's like a lost child in a shop, Dan. He's lost. He's scared.
He is. I would be. Look at him. He's already there. He falls down. He's already there.
Oh, this could have been the first frag for Psygib, but no, it's not meant to be. It's now 9-0. Goodness. I mean, Dan, Brazil accounts for 1/3 of the world's coffee production. However, Rapha accounts for every one of the frags on the server right now, as it's 9-0. There's not been a single kill come out by Psygib yet. 7 minutes into the game, and Rapha is just unleashing a can of whoop-ass.
He doesn't let up. He has no mercy. Like, surely you've got to feel a little bit bad for your opponents in America right now. I mean, can you imagine being one of these players? Like, I got Rapha this week. Yeah, 3-0, great. Someone's got to turn around and take some maps off this guy. It's crazy.
It would be mind-boggling if we actually start to see some wins coming in, but right now,
When was
it's
the last
just
time
the
we saw
Rapha
Rapha
show.
sweat?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a sauna in a long time.
I think we saw him lose one map in Season 2. Obviously lost none at Lab.
Yeah, no, Land
Not
was
a map,
completely
a lab.
undefeated.
It was crazy. Once, never seen as many Ghost Walks used. Oh, style points to finish. I mean, at least Psygib got a frag, right?
Finally, he's come on in. Hashtag free Psygib. He gets the first frag into the game. Is there anything more that he can muster up here, potentially?
I don't think so. Oh, that's
At
a
least
nice
one more
rocket.
nice rocket, yeah. Timing here could be everything, because Psygib bouncing around.
no,
Nice
he didn't
execution, actually, with the Ghost Walk. But
No,
he
he
didn't
didn't.
rail.
He didn't get the rail. Poor
Oh.
execution, unfortunately.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
He's just taking a face full tri-bolt as well. God damn. Final 60 seconds of the game here, Dan, and it's only been a single frag for Psygib on the second map of the series. Does seem like this is pretty much going to be going the way of a 2-0 so far for Rapha before we get pushed into the third and final map.
Yes, this is it's remarkable, really. It really is remarkable.
It's also crazy when you think about it, in the sense of, so Psygib has had 2 mega healths compared to the 16 of Rapha. Like, it's just absolute control, Dan. The entire game, it's just utter dominance.
No, I thought he was going to get the frag off of that. That would have been insane. And good games come out. Another storming victory from Rapha.
Goodness, man. The dominance that he establishes when he's on the server. It doesn't even matter the fact that he's finding all the frags. He's also being able to have complete control of basically whatever he wants, be it the time vials, be it the major items.
But look at that. Like, the damage was pretty much even. Just Psygib couldn't get an item. And Rapha chose his moments to capitalize upon his dominance perfectly. It's just, it's crazy impressive.
It really is. Third and final map then of the series is up next. Moving on from Blood Covenant swiftly into Blood Run. Rapha is on the Ranger, and we've got a Doom pick for Psygib, Dan. Is there any chance here in the last game of the night?
Yeah, I think for me, Psygib just needs to slow it down. This is a map where you can do that very effectively. There's picks where there isn't the opportunity to put as much pressure on. There's a mirror matchup in the medium champs now. That's good for Psygib. I think he's been outpicked in the last 2 games. Whereas now this is his best chance to get on the board. He needs to get that rail. He needs to slow it down. When I've seen him play well, it's generally been on this map. So I think he's got a chance to get on the lead on the board, but we'll have to see how close he can take it.
Yeah. Doom does definitely fall into his repertoire and is a hero that I'm not surprised to see him wanting to play. So hopefully we get to see some damage coming through from that. Rapha on the Ranger, though, obviously quite standard there. We've seen some really good execution with the dire orb today, actually. So hopefully that will follow that trend. I think it's been one of the best show days we've had for it, with just perfect dire orb plays the whole way through.
Yeah. We'll see what Rapha does with it. He's always, again, creative. I think people underestimate how powerful Ranger is because of the utility in terms of even the passive of the rocket jump. Like, you can get out of so many situations by taking such less damage. It's a great champion across all maps. Again, Doom is just a good champion in general, just because it's so strong in combat. The double jump does come into play on this map in terms of control slightly, not as much as a lot of other maps, but it's just the utility is still pretty good overall. We'll see. I mean, you have to favor Rapha, right? I don't think there's anything else you can do.
No, especially not after what we've had throughout the series so far. I think it's almost as if it would be unfair, right, to say that he's not going to be able to take this 3-0 because he's just looked so well versed, as per, again, in every aspect of Quake.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that's played as close as ever is to perfect Quake in history, it's Rapha right now, right here.
Well, it's also probably Rapha over the course of Katowice, right?
That's what I mean. In
you
like
don't drop a map. Yeah.
The last 6 months of Quake has been that's the definition of like perfect Quake for Rapha.
Yeah, well.
And when you bring it to LAN and you just manhandle the entire scene.
Not a single player could stop him. Not a single person could knock him off his beat and make him drop a map. I think him and Razy had some of the highest fragging games over the course of the entire LAN event as well. It was lunacy, the plays he was whipping out there.
Well, that's the
and
thing,
of course, then he's always so calm about it as well at the end.
Well, the thing is, Razy was going through that tournament, storming everyone. It almost felt like Rapha was the one going in that was needing to beat Razy.
Yeah.
He made it look so easy. Like, they were the most commanding victories, and it was twice as well.
In 2 series. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's like the crazy part, right?
And he
is
even let the
obviously-
clutch through it, which was everyone's like, yeah, why would you ever do that? And he's like, well, this is why. So
Man, that was mad. Like some of the VODs from that LAN, and obviously just being there as well. We had a whale of a time with those
that was
games.
amazing.
But let's see if he can carry that trend on. Rapha, he doesn't like to lose, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not going to be losing this one. Psygib, though, the good opener. A lot of damage done. It's knocking him down fairly low.
Yeah, great start by Psygib. Yes, Rapha got the items, but he doesn't have any real weapons to work with. He needs a rocket for sure. So, great play by Psygib to start. And it's cornered Rapha over in this light armor room.
Rapha. Oh, goodness.
What was that?
I don't know.
Did you see that as well?
Yeah, it looked like a visual bug for like 15 rails going off at once. That was crazy.
Oh my god, I thought it was my PC just imploding.
No, yeah, I did wonder what that was. I thought it was like an automatic railgun that came out. I was like, what? Goodness. All right, Psygib started cheating to win this one.
That was Rapha.
Oh, man.
Psygib's caught completely unawares.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure if he misheard that or what, but yeah, completely looking in the wrong space. You don't want to give Rapha a free frag.
I mean, to be fair, it is unfair when you're playing against Rapha and he busts out the minigun, so
Yeah.
not surprised. Oh, 2-1 split already into the game. We're coming up to the 2-minute mark. This has gone very, very fast here on Blood. Psygib firing up those rockets, was trying to deny the pickup, or at least delay the pickup towards the Mega. The item timings are actually quite close together as well. When you are Ranger, you are going to have a field day with snatching both of them down.
He could use the orb as a bait here or jump down on orb back up. There's lots of utility he has, but he's only got one rocket. That's the issue. So instead, it's just buying time to pick up that heavy. He knows his opponent's still down there, so. Psygib, no! I mean, you know your opponent's Rapha. You know he always has good timing. That was a ballsy move from Psygib. Because you could never anticipate that Rapha just forgot an item.
Ooh. Okay, nice tag coming out at the very least there with a rail to be able to punish him from a bit of a distance. Super shotgun in hand, it's always such a classic. Near miss from the rail from Psygib as they're trying to stagger their steps and hope the other will overcommit. Psygib dives out. Rapha was already prepared for it with a nice use of the tri-bolt to fire them out and hope that he would come straight into them headstrong. But no, instead he's going to back off and keep himself alive to fight another day.
And Psygib doesn't do anywhere near enough damage, missing the rail as well. Easy frag for Rapha. And this is what I mean. Rapha's been using the utility of the Ranger pretty damn well so far.
Rockets are just absolutely bombarding all over him. They're going to blow into bits. Rapha so low, but still finding frags.
He is very low though. He needs to hold out and hope Psygib doesn't push in. Can't even afford to wait around to get that Mega, decides just to forfeit the items.
Oh yeah. No sitting in that blood. No sucking it up like a juice box. Can't be done. Ooh, the rocket connection though is quite nice. That'll at least do a bit of damage from a distance on towards Psygib as he bounces past.
That's Rapha, needs to slow it down. He's got a good position to defend this next Mega. He's obviously got timing as well, and he hears that pickup, so he knows what's going on. The rockets are decent, but Psygib also responds in kind. Pushes in. Can he get this kill? Should be able to, but he takes a lot of damage. And Rapha orbs out to survive for now.
5-1 already. Sideline rail coming out from Psygib as he looks to try and punish, and he will. Another frag picked up as it does go 5-2.
5-minute warning.
Oh, that's great, Rocket. He needs to push in here for the kill. Wrong weapon choice, he's so low, but that's a perfect rail. And Psygib is still keeping it close. And this is what we wanted to do. Keep it slow, keep it close.
Dude, that's so good from Psygib. Fantastic play. This is the dream scenario now. There's so much more that can be done if he can keep this up. 2 frags difference between them, Dan.
So much time as well.
Oh, he got right behind him with the timing.
That was so close to being a telefrag.
Stopwatch.
Tri-bolt coming through. Lots of connections being made, but he's got to back off. Psygib, he needs to play this one smart. Not overextend, not throw it away. He needs the rockets as well. He can also take that light armor on the way, and that'll put him into a better spot. Shot's going to be connecting straight into him, though, as they're going to be latching on and blowing that armor he's just found quickly off him.
Oh,
look at the distance on that! A follow-up rocket. Doesn't need much more to be able to punish Rapha here, but he's low himself and doesn't fancy overcommitting and losing his life.
I think what Rapha did there was try to orb up, but heard Psygib go through the teleporter, so activated the orb early to drop back down. I think that's what he did, and if he did, like, just shows you how quickly he thinks about the game. Still 5-3. Psygib's keeping a good track of these items.
Psygib. Nice use of the nails, pre-firing around the corner and hoping the push to come in. The rocket could have been so big as well, but instead it's the rail transition that's doing the real damage here.
And good methodical play from Psygib. He knows he's got plenty of time. Making all the right choices. And he's caught him. Nice.
Oh.
Rapha's on the ropes. Psygib here's where he is.
Psygib.
Rapha picked up the rocket. He didn't. He decided to drop because he picked up. I think it's because he picked up the time bar. He decided he couldn't stick around for the rocket, so jumped straight down. Obviously, understanding he gave away his information.
He doesn't have much time left to work with here, and it is going to be a hard-fought fight from this point forward. The double jab of the Doom coming in to give him a nice little silent ascent to get a potential backstab off, although listening out and spotting out with those solo peepers, expecting the push coming around from Rapha, but he's taking way too much damage, Dan. He can't hang a bang now, or he's going to go down, and it'll be the tri-bolt that finishes him.
So basic by Rapha, just made sure he had a better position. Psygib, as you said, without much time, forced to commit. And that's going to cost him the game, or could cost him the game.
I think it might have done, especially when Rapha's instantly back to his old tricks now, looking a lot more confident and trying to take the fight. Knows where Psygib is, no shenanigans this time. He's not going to be dropping down onto you. Instead, he's going to be the one pushing you. The rocket hits him, though. Forced to use the Dialogue to get himself a heavy as he repositions. Not quite sure when Psygib was going to be pushing. He was trying to hold the angle with the rail. It comes a little bit too late, but now he's in a perfect position, and the rail will rip him a new one.
And that's good game. I think you have to give credit to Psygib. He played exceptionally well on this map, and I think you need to understand how hard it is to come back from being manhandled to make it so close. It's very easy just to tilt and lose your head a little bit, so it's completely admirable.
Psygib unfortunately, it was so close. It was within his grasp, really, to be able to pick that up.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
was.
meant to be, though. And I think it is looking like it is just going to be the full 3-0 series now to Rapha. There was so much potential that could have been a 2-1.
Could have been. Really could have been. But once again, Rapha showing us why he the best player in the world. Maps 1 and 2 were just crazy good. And map 3 showing us he can obviously, more than obviously, play defensive when he needs to.
No, really, really good showing there. Obviously, as per usual, Rapha just looking dominant as hell. Psygib with a good showing, kept it competitive, kept it close, gave us a nice match to round things out towards the end of the night here, Dan, which I think, is obviously a good thing, at least to take away. It's a good benchmark. If anyone ever pushes Rapha to his limits or at least gets him close, that's still an accolade to have.
Yeah, it is. And as we said, I think that's much more what he needed to do. Felt
Yeah.
that maps 1 and 2, a big part of it, and this is what Rapha does so well, a big part of it was the strategy and the picks and abusing the ability difference and the speed difference in particular. Rapha's so good at picking the light champions at the right times, or the speed champions at the right times, and heavy champions at the right times, and he does that exceptionally well. Whereas what we see there in the mirror matchup on a much more classical play style, Psygib has it in him to take even Rapha to the limit. So I think more people need to start trying to, and it's so hard, but trying to work out how to counter Rapha when he's trying to abuse those picks.
Oh yeah, then there must be some way for people to start to overthrow him, but right now it's just not. It's not feasible. A lot of the competition obviously just always falling short. As Rapha looking like the final boss of Quake at the minute.
Yeah, no, he is, and it's he is. He's the best player. He's been the best player for quite a while.
Hmm.
He showed us on LAN, and he will undoubtedly show us again in the next one. So it's up to others now to step up to his benchmark. It's a lot of learnings people can take from his game.
Hmm.
I mean, he's not unmatched in his overall mechanical skill. Like, he's exceptional, but he's not unmatched. So it's up to other players to look at the strategy and try to raise their game to his level.
Oh yeah. Hopefully we get to see that, as obviously the longer the Quake Pro League has been going on, we've seen so much more development with the rest of the talent in the scene, especially North America as a whole. Like the fact we've now got an even split in the top 10 is madness, obviously compared to what we had back in stage 1.
Yeah, everyone's come on leap and bounds, and the game has developed leaps and bounds because of it. So we've seen it every week, something new coming out.
It's been so good. But Dan, obviously that's it in terms of games. That is the 8th one rounded out for the night with Rapha walking away with a 3-0. So an awful lot of points there. We can actually take a look at how things looked at the end of last week as well, back in week 3, to give you a good understanding going forward of how the leaderboards have now changed. Obviously, back in last week, a lot of what you'd expect in terms of the standard stuff. Rapha, obviously 355 points. He was up the top, just looking absolutely ridiculous. And it's so hard to imagine when he's ever going to be knocked out of that position, right? Just because the sheer amount he has accumulated.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think he can be. I don't know if it, particularly when in Europe everyone's taking maps off everyone. So he's got that solidified. Um, I mean, anyone in the top 3 doesn't really matter. They're all top quality pedigree players.
Cypher, obviously, he's there in 12th position. He had a good showing today. I think it was great how close he was in his games and how dominant he looked as well. Obviously, 2 of them did end. I think it was a 1 frag advantage towards the end there in his opening match versus Ron. But his initial game of the day, Dan, looked amazing. So I imagine that's probably going to benefit him quite a lot with the points he'll receive from that series of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of what the other notable ones really are here. Wenger, so of course, 6th position, struggling today and then getting quite a lot of momentum going on later on in his game versus Kilson. Kilson, of course, in 2nd place. So don't really think he's going to be too bothered about his result.
No, I think Wenger, I expected a little bit more from Wenger personally. I think he did have some ping problems, I've been told. Obviously, Italy struggling with the internet slightly because of obvious reasons. So that may have had some impact on the game, but nevertheless, I felt strategically he got outplayed, if not mechanically. Mechanically, he was solid. So some work for him there because as we all say every week, expect him to be up in that top three. And I think he's got the capability to do it. Love to see it.
No, yeah, you really, really do. It's crazy just how much improvement we've had, I think, with a lot of them in the sense of players like Dramus that are only getting better and better. Again, even his showing tonight was actually really quite flamboyant. So if
It
this is a trend
was,
that will carry on, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, everyone's beginning to step up. I don't think anyone played. We don't. I think even season one, you have a lot of people who might have their bad days, and it was kind of big 3-0 White Wars, but I don't think that's happening anymore. It just seems that the quality
Mhm.
and the standard and the consistency across the board is just raised so highly. I think the one series we could all probably forget today is the Dewey effortless one. That was a little bit of an unusual one. The rest of them were really up there.
No, yeah, they were. Obviously, that one was a blip in the sense of how it was played. Obviously, a classic Dewey style in the sense that he approached it effortless, also trying to play into his confines. And I mean, it made it work. It was definitely
Yeah.
something that we hadn't experienced
Well,
before.
maps 1 and 3 were great, and you could see the strategy coming out. Map 2 was, I think it was more the picks than anything. They're both playing super conservative and not wanting to overcommit. So, yeah, but maps 1 and 3 were strategically pretty good.
No, they were indeed. And then obviously, if we move on over, I believe we have the updated standings that we can check out and see how things have shaped up after today's competition, Dan, and where the shift has been.
Hmm.
And obviously, the players moving on throughout their standing. Now, taking a look at it here, not too much of a change, really. Everything actually saying very, very similar. I think pretty much the same, apart from the fact, obviously, Cypher's had quite a big jump all the way up to seventh position, which is huge, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
Other than that, it's all
I
pretty
think we
clean
said
cut.
every week now he's picking up a lot of points. He's got a couple of good 3-0s coming out, which has been great for his standings, and he's well up there now, nearly ahead of Wenger, which is quite remarkable. Um, but I don't know. And against Sparty, he's really done exceptionally well recently. He took a big win against Kula today, which obviously helped him no end.
Mm,
Once again, we see people like Jean, who's still sitting down in 17th. Tox, I know he had a week off this week, but he's down in 14th. Some people can definitely pick it up because both Ron and Tox are looking a little bit vulnerable down in the standings.
mm. Yeah, that's actually the only real big changes we've had is the fact that Cypher has skyrocketed massively in towards that top seven, whereas Avok has moved down slightly, coming into 13th place. Other than that, it's pretty similar to what we've had. And then Rapha, the improvement of the points he's got there from that 3-0, putting him on 387 now, which at that point, it just really proves, Dan, that this is the age of Rapha.
It is, yeah. I guess the only other one I would point out is Base. I think he's dropping off a little bit. Obviously, putting an amazing performance on LAN and really stepping up. He's dropped and Chain up in 8th. I think Chain's come on so much. Obviously, the performances in Poland giving him a lot of confidence. I think he deserves to be where he is, and he's up ahead of Psygib now. So, um, but overall, I think there's no huge surprises there.
No, not really. A lot more along the lines of I think what we expected, and that is really everything now for week 4 of the Quake Pro League. Dan, another week done. Another collection of exhilarating games. We've had some magnificent ones thrown in there, a couple of little gems in the rough today, but quite a lot of really tasty plays.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Frag movie this week. It was
Oh
always
yeah.
good to cast, always good to be with you, Jackie. We are
Oh, stop it,
um,
mate.
just another good week of Quake.
Yeah, no, I always get excited being around you. You know, it's fun. It's good fun. I hope everyone at home has enjoyed it, of course, as well. All of you watching live over on Twitch. Thank you for getting involved again with the Quake Pro League. If you have any thoughts about today's games or the broadcast in general, and you want to let me and Dan know, head on over to Twitter, hashtag Quake Pro League, and tell us your thoughts about it. You might as well, but from me, from Dan, from the magnificent Face It production, of course, my main man, producer Reese, we all hope you've had a good time, and we will see you next week.